Good afternoon, everyone. Before I get into this model review, allow me a little bit of time to explain what happened over the past couple weeks, and especially to thank those who came to my side. 2 weeks ago yesterday, my mom unfortunately suffered a pretty significant stroke at work and was transported to a local hospital. Under the hospital's care, she subsequently had 2 additional strokes, had blood pressure problems, and eventually ended up developing C. diff, which is a very, very serious infection. I'm happy to say that a couple days ago she came home and seems to be doing a little bit better. A lot of sleeping though, and that's good because that's pretty much what you want to do when you're on the mend and you're trying to heal and you're on 70,000 different medications. What just frustrates me about the whole situation is she, starting off in, I think it was February or March, she was supposed to have another procedure done, so she had to go to all of these other doctors to get her pre-op and say, okay, you've got the green light, you're clear, you're healthy enough. And all of these different doctors and specialists, we're talking cardiologist, GI doctor. I mean, there are so many different ones, and every single one of them signed off and said, yeah, you're good to go. So it was just frustrating that this wasn't caught, before it happened. But it did happen, and hopefully we're done with it, and we're on the back side of it. She's on the mend, she's getting better, and we can we can start to rebuild our lives again. But I just wanted to thank everybody who came to my aid. There were several people who submitted generous gifts, did a couple raffles for us, and even people who just sent us a message and sent me a message. Saying, hey, Tommy, listen, man, we're thinking about you guys. It's awful what happened. I wish I could do something for you, but I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you. And so even those messages were great. What wasn't so great was the private conversation that went around the community, which I am still extremely irritated about. But there's nothing else to say about it at this point. Everybody knows what went on. Everybody knows there were a couple kids and a couple adults who decided to get in on the conversation and wanted to question my integrity and had an issue with me setting up a donation fund to help defray the cost, the enormous cost of medical bills associated with a 10-day stay in a hospital on top of all the procedures that she already had done. So that was the issue that I took exception with. I thought it was completely inappropriate, way, way, way out of line, and I'm hoping that never happens again. I think we're kind of past that. When something like this happens in the community, most of you guys wrapped your arms around me, and that's what's supposed to happen. And believe me, God forbid anything happen to any of you guys or any of your close relatives, girlfriend, parent, parole officer, whatever. Just know that I would be there for you. But going out and spreading rumors and questioning my integrity is something that I take very, very seriously and have a very serious issue. So anyway, the people know who they are. I got the entire conversation saved. And just, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. I mean, even if you went up to me and said, hey, man, listen, I understand what you're doing, but I'm a little confused about it. Why do you have all of these models and yet you're asking us for money? And the answer to that question is because I sold off a lot of my models, and I don't know if you understand the immense cost that is associated with a 10-day freaking stay in the hospital and all of the tests that she had done. So, whatever. I'm going to stop rambling. We'll go ahead and get into this review. Long story short, next time anybody has a problem, at least be enough of a man, such as Mini Construction, who actually had the fortitude and came to me first and said, listen, this is what's going on. This is what I have a problem with. Can you clear this up? At least I had, and I still do. I have enough respect for him coming to me privately and saying, listen, this is what's going on. What I don't have, or what I do have a serious issue is people reading through all this stuff, wanting proof, wanting me to leave the hospital to go downstairs into the man cave to show you a bunch of empty shelves, or looking over bills and realizing that the dates didn't line up to the time that she was in the hospital, that's unbelievable, and that's totally unacceptable to me. So with that said, for the third time now, let's go ahead and get into the model review. This is a Conrad Caterpillar IT28, generously donated to me by a buddy on Instagram. He chose to remain nameless, but he had several of these, and he said, you know what, man, I know you're going through a lot. I've got several of these. They're just sitting on a shelf. I know you don't have it, so I'll just send it to you. But these were first released by Conrad, I believe, in the middle part of the early 90s. And this is the direct, can't think today. Excuse me. This is the direct variation of the Cat 936. This is the integrated tool carrier version. So, there it is. Looking at the model itself, pretty nice considering its age. Tires have a good tread pattern. They have some wheel detail on them. No hoses across the pivot point, but again, I urge you to remember how old this model is. Some nice lights here and here. Don't mind my awesome green dotted purple Band-Aid. That's a story for another day. Anyway, that's about as high as it'll raise. And it comes with these two tools. One of these is a red locking pin right here, which would just slide into that, but you really don't even need that, to be honest with you. The other is a set of pallet forks right here. These aren't the adjustable nice kind like the Norscot, but again, they work. And then you have your integrated tool carrier arm, which is not extendable. And that's what that looks like right there. And if you're real crafty, you can run a piece of chain or anything through the hollowed out hole. But basically just slips over the top, pops in, just like that. And you would insert the red locking pin right underneath here, which I hope the camera is picking up because I'm not looking at it. And there you go. So overall, a really great model for its age. I really like it. It's different enough to be recommended. I'll go ahead and do the thing I started to do the last video. Give you guys kind of a 360-degree view of it. I hope to get one of those electrical spinning tables. But again, for the 30th time, models and, you know, things that we take for granted and things that we like to, hobbies, for lack of a better word, are going to be on the back foot for quite a while until we can get caught up. Move this thing closer to you. But yeah, overall a pretty decent model. And again, I want to thank my buddy who just out of the goodness of his heart decided he wanted to send me one of these. Great model. Now, I am not going anywhere. I will continue to do model videos. They're just going to be of the models that I still have. I don't know what's going on with my throat today, but sorry about that, guys. But it's going to be a while before I'm able to purchase any new models. So what I will be doing is, doing reviews on the models that I still have. So definitely I'm not going anywhere. Check into the Instagram page or the YouTube page periodically, as I will try to do at least one model review per day. So as always, guys, thank you very much. And before I sign off here, once again, a heartfelt thank you to everyone who wanted to help us out. She is doing better. If you want to go check out the picture I posted on Instagram, she looks a lot better. She looks like a human being again. So, once again, guys, thank you for all your kind words and support and supporting Diecast Emporium. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.